Morgantown, West Virginia, home to the Mountaineers and a fan base that has been, shall we say, preparing since early in the morning for the battle we have in store. There's nothing quite like a great rivalry matchup in college football. The bitterness, the intensity, the lifetime of memories that will come as a result of what we're about to see in this one. As we'll see, the winners of 4 straight, the Pittsburgh Panthers, taking on the 15th ranked team in the land, the West Virginia Mountaineers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. Pitt lined up for the opening kickoff. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. The Mountaineers offense will get the first possession of the game. The toughness epitomized from the coal mines of West Virginia, the steel mills in Pittsburgh, and you better have a sturdy jaw in the Backyard Brawl.
Any name in a rivalry game that's the Backyard Brawl, sign me up. Both these teams, man, that's what they're about. That's their identity. They'll be ready to throw down.
It's called Backyard Brawl for a reason. When West Virginia and Pitt play, there's fights on the field, there's fights up in the stands, there's fights in the parking lot after the game. These programs hate each other.
Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. Pass to 40. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
And the Mountaineers have it with a 1st and 10.
West Virginia.
From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Gets it out fast. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that 1st down. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through him. And guess what? Not only this play does he feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
And on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit. And it's right down the boulevard. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0. After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. On the move from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So the Pitt Panthers offense will have its first possession of the game. As we take a look at our impact players for this game, David, what do you look for to make an impact from your leaders?
Your leaders not only have to lead the football team, but they got to step up and make plays on the field, keep everybody calm. These guys typically do a really good job.
Yeah, David, and they also generally set the tone for their respective football teams. Regardless of which side of the ball they play on, the teammates look towards them to step up in big games like this.
That'll be a gain of 5 out to the 27.
The counter play is a great play to mix in because defensively, you're not looking for the counter. You're looking to attack, attack, attack. All of a sudden, 2 guys pull across the formation. Now you got to change your direction really quickly, and it keeps you off balance and really keeps you on your heels.
It's a game of 1st downs, and they've got one out to their own 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. To the ground with the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find a...
Picked off! How about that? Making a play and setting up your offense inside the 40 at the 39.
You know, I like the decision by the quarterback in terms of where he was going with the ball. Just don't like the accuracy. That was not good location on the throw. Got away from him a little bit, and the defense able to come up with a big pick.
West Virginia has it, and the offense ready to go to work. Had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here, Dave.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
Finds his big tight end. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down. The Mountaineers are in the red zone. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. They pull him down at the 17 after a pickup of 3.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
Looking to throw on second down. Quickly complete. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
First down, West Virginia.
Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and West Virginia has the lead. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. With the run on first and goal. Knocked down after a gain of 1. They'll mark it at the 6.
At the 6-yard line. Brings up second and goal.
See if they can get it done on second and goal. He's looking to throw. Feeling some heat. And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers. What a run for this playmaker to just elude the defense and get in for the score.
And I tell you what, defensively, you can't let this guy get on the edges. You cannot give up contain when your defensive ends. You got to stay outside. You got to make sure you know this guy's going to scramble and try to make plays, and you got to make sure you keep him in the pocket.
The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. The deficit here is just 10 points, David, so a chance to answer here.
Plenty of time left in this football game. No need to panic. This offense just has to put a couple drives together. And listen, the defense will get this back and get some stock follow and get you the football back.
And I think here too, David, you have an opportunity to keep the pressure on the opponent. Yeah, they just went down and scored, but you score here, and this game's still tight. You keep their feet to the fire, so an opportunity here to keep applying that pressure.
And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. Off the play fake. Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made. Pitt pushing the pace. He'll come out throwing on first down. Firing to the right, complete. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. And here comes the offense on second down. So many rivalries built on proximity, and Pitt and West Virginia have been squaring off in their backyard since 1895.
And it's just crazy.
And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. The pocket broke down, and the quarterback had to take the sack.
Really impressed by this pass rush, Reese. Just guys winning their individual battles one-on-one up front. They're able.
And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
You got third and this long, everybody knows what's coming. It's going to be a pass. Defensive linemen get to tee off. They know exactly what's coming. Go get the quarterback. It is your dream. That is what you live for. It's what you practice in the offseason for. I want sacks just like that.
He gets a block. Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. West Virginia has it back, ready to dive into that playbook. Jesse, a very productive drive last time wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. We'll see what they can do here in this next drive.
Yeah, and I don't expect anything different. When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same. Keep the pace, keep it going.
He wants to pass it on second down. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down. And the Mountaineers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Here comes the option. Now the pitch. Still running at the 40. Spin, still running. And a big play there on the option. The pitch was executed perfectly.
One of the things I love about this offense, Reese, is they have tons of speed. They like to try to get the ball going east-west. That time they generated a huge play going to the right side.
And the defense either not fast enough to fit or got knocked out of the fit.
Yeah, they got to do a better job containing that as this game goes on. They got to funnel the football back to the middle of the field.
Pressure coming. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's throwing to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down, they can pick up the first without scoring. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks.
Ooh, I like that option play. I'd keep running that, too, because it's obvious the defense right now is really keying in on this running back. That was a big point of emphasis for them all week long in practice, and it's opening up.
Wedges, pushes, and he's over and in for the touchdown. No mid-season doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in Week 6.
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Going for the return. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime.
Yeah, a big chance. Like this is an opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity in front of them in the game right now. You got to get some points on the board. You got to create something positive, Jesse. There hasn't been a whole lot to be positive about in the first half.
If I'm playing quarterback, I'm locating my go-to guy at receiver. Who can I count on one-on-one to go and make me a play? Maybe even one-on-two. Who can go up, catch the ball, get us some yards, and get us some points?
Here comes the offense on second down. He's looking to throw. Gets away. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. And whatever they did on first and second down, don't do that anymore. Third and very long coming up. Leaves it with the back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Pitt will line up to punt it away. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. West Virginia has it in the offense ready to go to work. You want to talk about a drive where you impose your will? That's what they did, running it down for a touchdown, David.
There is nothing more demoralizing than that for a defense. To be physically pounded. The run is coming. You know it's coming, and you can't stop it.
Nothing the defense can do. That is mano-a-mano up front, and your guys getting a push. They know you're running it, and they still can't stop it.
This time it's complete.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You can tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
3rd and short from the 49. Is this 4-down territory? They'll try to pick up the first through the air. He's got an open man. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up.
First down, West Virginia.
He's going to pass. Fires deep toward the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers! And they'll put that scoreboard operator to work and put 6 on the board. Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. They face a pretty tall mountain here, Jesse, down 24, but if they're going to climb it, this is a good time to start.
Sense of urgency's got to be big right here. You just get the feeling at this point of the game, David, they've got to score on this drive. Obviously, their defense needs to get stops, but at this point, offensively, they've got to execute much better.
They got to be super aggressive. Down 24, you're going to need 3 touchdowns, 3 two-point conversions, everything to kind of go your way. So fast and throwing the football.
He got enough for the first down before sliding, but there is a marker on the field. It might be coming back. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. Going with the counter play here. Nice, solid form tackle from this sophomore. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Fellas, between the coaches who have matched wits in this game and the players and the unforgettable moments, the Backyard Brawl is must-see TV, and today is no different. And there is no better place to start this halftime than by reviewing how this wideout has been a one-man wrecking crew. The kid's been everywhere. And I love how he's willing to go across the middle, but that he also has the jets to burn these DBs on the deep ball. If this defense wants to actually come back in this one, they better hide his cleats.
The Mountaineers will boot it away to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The PITT offense back on the field and ready to roll. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second.
And that's a live ball behind the line. How in the world did the offense retain possession? And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And you know the standard is indisputable video evidence, and the officials will change the call. They're trying to get to it. And he just threw that one away. Safe move, didn't see anything, lived to play another play. And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. Gets it out quickly. And how about that catch and run? So dangerous, this guy. And the Panthers have it with a 1st and 10. Making sure they have good balance, keeping it on the ground. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Leaves it with the running back. Discards a man.
You don't tackle a big back like that with one guy. This is a guy that you better be flying to the football, everybody grabbing on, holding on for dear life until your teammates get there. Big backs like this are just hard to get on the ground.
Heaves it deep. What a snag by the defense. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
And that's why as quarterbacks, you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching it. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
Running back searching for a hole. And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play.
You know, it's so important for offenses to want to keep third downs manageable. The way you do that is by having success like that, running the football on first down.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. A run up the middle is stopped for no gain.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
On 3rd down, going up top. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. And the Mountaineers will send out the punt unit. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. And the ball will bounce at the 4 and find its way into the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
He's got his man. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. Offense will try to get some momentum going on 1st and 10. They're going back to the ground. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
Yeah, and this has been tough sledding. All right, this offense has really struggled to move the football, and this game's all but over. But here's the thing, man. Thank God you don't play this defense every week. And let's continue to work here and find something we do good, build maybe a little bit of momentum so next week we play a little bit better football.
Come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and short. Defense way too anxious there, and they just hand them a 1st down with a penalty.
Neutrals on defense.
Defense way over eager there, and now the entire playbook just opens up before the eyes of this offensive coordinator. To the air on 1st down. Fires to the middle. Makes a connection. All down at the 39-yard line, but he's got 15 yards on the play and a fresh set of downs. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Using his legs at screen. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
Looking for a block. It's Robinson. Makes the tackle really strong, disciplined job, and now we have 1 period to play. Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and West Virginia has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. As we start the 4th quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. They'll start the drive here with 1st down to open this period. They'll put the tight end in motion. They'll throw it on 1st down. Working that left side. And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes a stop. Starting this drive like that is exactly what they'd hoped for. Now 1st and 10 from the 40. He'll keep it himself. Past the 1st down marker and still running. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
There's an example of the offense taking advantage of all the attention the defense is giving this outstanding running back. Remember, he's one of the best in the game. They're expecting him to get the football. So the quarterback says, you know what? I'll just keep it. No one's keying on me. I'm going to get upfield and find an explosive play.
And the defense makes the stop after a minimal gain. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. Going to try to pop one on the screen. They make the stop, but not before the screen has hit him for a first down and much more. Really good execution by this offense. The Mountaineers come to the line with a new set of downs. Complete downfield. They get him stopped at the 5-yard line, but it will be 1st and goal from there. They showed great trust in their quarterback right there, and why not? He's had an outstanding game.
The outstanding game has taken care of the football. Now, late in the game, you've got the lead. That first down now tells me.
Touchdown, West Virginia! And the pummeling has started. They add on another one, and they're about to push their record to 5-1. Almost heaven as West Virginia takes command in the brawl.
West, by God, Virginia, putting it together. I mean, this is a rivalry game that means so much, the Backyard Brawl. And right now, Jesse, West Virginia is giving it to them.
Yeah, it feels like a snowball effect, right? You just put one play after another, and all of a sudden the momentum is building, and Pitt's going to have to do something here to slow this down.
Here's the return from inside his 10. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Pitt offense back on the field and ready to roll. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. So what do they have for 3rd and short from their own 23? From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming. No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. They're throwing for it on 4th down. Pocket starts to collapse. And they got him. A sack denies the try to convert on 4th down.
He had nowhere to go with the football. 4th down, you know he wants to make a play. I'd like for him to throw it up, to be honest. Try to give somebody an opportunity to make a play. Who cares if I throw a pick? It's 4th down anyways, but couldn't find anybody to get the ball off. Defense surrounds him, gets him to the ground with the sack.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch. So pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the inside.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. He's got it. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
Well, it's a nice job tackling on defense. I know one guy missed, but you saw the effort. Other guys coming and flying to the football. They knew how big that 3rd down was. They had to get the stop to give themselves a chance to now get off the field.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
How about that? You got the lead late in the game. Get some 1st down. Salt this clock away. This is the exact position.
And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown. They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Hey, guys, got a final score in a big top 25 matchup. Penn State is going to enjoy the trip back to Happy Valley after a rock-solid performance. And you take care of business on the road, and you stack wins there in Beaver Stadium, and suddenly it's quite the resume. Really unexpected outcome in this ranked-on-ranked matchup, The type of loss, guys, that'll get the attention of even a good football team.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. They've got it 1st and 10 from the 25. Looking to move it through the air. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He's looking to throw it. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His 3rd interception of the day. Touchdown, Mountaineers. What a great play by the defense and paying it off with the interception return. That one puts them in really good shape to get back on the right track and get another W. They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. The Pittsburgh offense is back on the field. This has been an old-fashioned fanny paddling, David. I mean, they've just got taken behind the woodshed.
There's nothing to say. This has been an absolute beatdown. Dominated from the start, Jesse, to almost the finish now. They have done nothing right.
Everyone's going to have a real hard look at themselves, I think, this week after watching the film and in practice. And they just got to take accountability. They have to understand man for man in this offense.
That internal clock just didn't move fast enough, and they get him for a safety.
And that's the exclamation point right there. It's been a bad day, man. This offense, they're going to have to find some answers over the next couple of weeks, especially the next week at practice, of who they are, what their identity is, because all they've done today is struggle around and now give up points.
One more play to pad the stats. The give. And they'll find their way back to the line of scrimmage, and now it's time to find their way back to the locker room as this game is over. There's a long and storied history of great games between these two rivals, and this chapter adds another to that legacy.
Really impressed by the poise by the winning team as well here. They weren't overhyped in this game. They came out, they looked prepared, they were calm, definitely confident. And David, they were able to go out and execute well enough to get this win.
And it's hard in these rivalry games with all the emotions.